Welcome to the Via Podcast. You dig what I'm saying? Vulnerability, accountability, leadership, intentionality, and demand. All aspects of life, and we just here to talk about it.
And that's valid.
And
Yes,
so
sir.
today I am super excited to have Connor here with us from Golden Dare Productions, and we have Jack on the line as well. Also from Golden Dare Productions. Jack, say what's up.
Hey, what's up?
I'm super excited because I want us to be able to have a conversation to basically let our viewers know like what it's like building a brand, especially a brand where it's like you're starting it from the ground up. You know what I mean? And this is not no clothing line. This is a brand where you're at the face of everything. You know what I mean? Like people are seeing you on YouTube. People are seeing you, on Instagram. Like Connor has billboards now. He's posted up in the MBTA stations, on buses, all that stuff. So for his name to be, everywhere, that's a big step. That's a big step. Anything you want to say to the people, Connor?
Well, you don't have to gas me up. I'm still right now in my mom's condo, so I'm not balling like that. And I've always appreciated you, Aubrey, for having our back, because it's we've been building this for a long, long time. Even though it seems like we're kind of just moving now, it's been a long time coming. So I mean, you were at our concert, like kind of our first thing we did in Boston. Remember that was 2 years ago.
That didn't even feel like that long ago.
It's insane.
I didn't make it to that. I was in Florida.
Yeah, okay. That's what they all say. But I'd also like to say, hey, thank you for having us, because I know pulling a podcast together is not easy. And Aubrey forever has been saying, like, you know what, I'm going to do a podcast. Trust me, I'm going to do it. I just got to get my schedule cleared up. Then I got to go on this cruise in Orlando. And after that, after I get my gaming channel ready, then I'm going to do it. And so she's finally done it. It's legit, branded and everything. So shouts out to you guys. It's dope.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And I couldn't have done it without Shelby. Legit. I think I tell the story all the time. Like, quarantine was just getting to the quarantine point. Like, COVID-19 was like, damn, this is kind of real. And I bought all the stuff. I think one day I was just chilling. With somebody. I was just like, you want to go to New Hampshire with me? Go get this podcast stuff? And legit, I just walked up. I think it was like a week or so after I had seen you in Starbucks, actually. And I went to New Hampshire. I came back. On my way back, I called Shelby. I'm like, yo, come to my house right now. Like, I just bought some podcast stuff.
You didn't even ask me.
I didn't even ask you. I'm just like, come to my house right now. Like, I just bought the podcast stuff. Like, let's figure out how to get this working. And then,
you guys enjoying it?
I am.
Love it.
It's fun.
Yeah. I love it. I think, and we both have like hella different ideas. I be wanting to move fast paced. Shelby be helping me kind of level out. Like, I think we're a good team right now, just the two of us, and just kind of moving along. And we get a lot of insight from the people that have been on our podcast too. Like, okay, as an audience, like in our audience, and as a viewer, and being on our podcast, how would you feel if we did this? How would you feel if we did this? Just kind of getting different perspectives and stuff. So it's fun right now.
And also, just like anything, you guys are going to get way better just the more you do it.
I noticed that too. Like, as we go back, as I go back and I watch, I'm like, oh, I need to fix this because this is not right.
Why? What were you doing?
I just felt like the way that I was speaking, it was a lot of cursing. It was a lot of just like likes and ums. And I was like, yeah, I need to fix this.
Again, you'll just do it all the time. And it's the cool thing about a podcast. You can do it at like any time, any day. And then you'll just get better and better and better and better.
Yeah,
that's for sure. But my first question to y'all is kind of like, what aspects do you have to be cautious of in the process of building a brand? So from the beginning to where you're at right now, you and Jack.
Bix, you want me to start or do you want to start?
What was the first part of the question?
She was saying
aspects? Go ahead.
Let's see how Jack does with his political answer. Come on, Bix.
What was the question?
She was saying, what aspects of building a brand do you have to be cautious of? She's basically saying, like, what do you have to watch out for when you're starting out?
Honestly, starting out, you just want to be original. Like, you don't want to come out of the gate just copying everyone else, or that's a big thing. You want that originality. Want to make sure that your brand image itself is original, not just the content you're making, but how it actually looks. Doesn't look like anyone else's content. I think that's a big one.
I think what's important to note is that I'm kind of the motor of GDP. I keep this bitch moving, right? You know what I'm saying? I'm an alpha male. We know this. You see me. Yeah, Shelby, I've grown up. Yeah, I'm looking good now. Yeah. I'm not the little boy I once was. So I keep it moving, and Jack is kind of like the guy who makes everything look good. So he's the aesthetic of everything. And so when we started out, we actually started out when I was making videos in college under Coach Connie. We had the deer, and I was like, all right, we kind of got to glow up and do something a little more official. And it's like really important that everyone knows, like, it seems like we catch wins all the time because we market our wins, but we take losses every single day, like literally daily. And so we kind of, the only way Jack and I really learn well is just by experience.
Mhm.
So we're really cautious of very little because we know we're going to fail like all the time. It just doesn't really scare us anymore.
Yeah, I just want to just pause real quick and just say that Jack is actually behind all of what you see for Valid TV as well. Like he made everything that I was thinking. We communicated through text, and he made everything that I was thinking come to life. And like he is behind the logo, he's behind the intro, the outro. I mean, he, like Connor said, like he makes it look good. It makes it look clean and like appeasing to the eye. And I love that about the work that he did with me. And so I appreciate you, Jack, for doing that, especially in short notice. And I was just like, I think I was going to Connor for any types of advice, and for him to plug me in with Jack and to Jack to move so quickly and swiftly, I truly appreciate it from the bottom of my heart, because it's smooth. I love it. Everybody else loves it. Like, I was trying to communicate with Shelby, like, you like this, you like this, you like this, what should we do? But thank you, for real.
Well, I mean, just like Connor said in the beginning, you supported us from the very beginning of the GDP history. So, I felt like it was important to give it back. And I wanted to see you, do something that you've been talking about for a long time.
Thank you.
And I think Jack, you did a good job. I think it fits. Like the brand fits perfect. Like the whole Valid thing, it's clean, it's official. I think it's.
There's all Aubrey's ideas. I just executed on them. He told me what to do, and I made it happen.
Yeah, I mean, he executed it well. Sometimes people can't pick up what you're putting down. I mean, and we communicate through text. I'm like, nah, bro. And then he's like, do you want fire? I'm like, I don't even know what you really mean when you say, do I want fire?
Sure, throw it in there.
Sure, yeah. I'm just like, you know what you're doing. You know what I mean? Like, you know what you're doing. I trust you in what you're doing because, I see how far you guys have come. So
This dude's smoking too much booth pack. Thinking about the fire and the flames.
He was like, do you want fire? He was like, do you want fire or something else? I'm just like, fire? Like, what is he talking about? Like, is he talking about in the logo? Or is he talking about in the intro? I'm like, bro, just do it. Just do it. But he did a great job, and I appreciate that. My next question to y'all would be like, how do you decipher between like what to expose to the world and what to hold back on? Because you guys' podcast is a little bit different because it's an interview type style, but like you still got to put yourself out there. You know what I mean?
Sorry, you broke up. You said our podcast is a little what?
It's a little bit different because like you guys interview people, different people. You know what I mean? Versus we have like just crazy conversations where we talk about our lives, right? Where I expose myself. I'm not even gonna lie. Like I expose myself big time, right? But like, how do you decipher between what you put out into the world and what you kind of hold back on? Because like Connor, you're the face of it. Like,
so I've forever just wanted to build a big brand in Boston. It's like always since I was like 16 at LS. Do you guys remember Sherman's Bridge Road? It was that windy ass road when you roll up to LS and like you'd be like,
oh yeah.
Like
Yep.
you go over the bridge. When I was like 16, and I'm gonna sound so soft, I used to listen to Take Care, like on that road. Take Care, the Drake album, nonstop. And Drake talked about like doing it out of your own city and not going to a bigger market like New York or LA. And so I forever have just known that I wanted to build something in the city since then. And so the podcast is not our ultimate goal, Jack and I's, but we know we had to create like a vehicle or like a vessel so people could
Yeah.
know us. And we got it to the point where we know how to produce it mad quick so we can just meet a bunch of people in the city.
Yeah.
But let me answer your question. Sorry, I'm an egomaniac. My fault. Um, we I was mad uncomfortable when we started the podcast about saying shit about myself that like I wouldn't tell anybody else. But I think we've done enough episodes now where it's like, all right, I think I've already said the stupidest shit about myself. There's like, I don't know what else you can pull out. I used to wet the bed when I was like mad old. I was like one of those kids. I mean, that's like the deepest, darkest secret I could really think of.
You just toss
Yeah,
it
I
out there.
struggled with that when we first started because it's like I'm a private person and I didn't want to put certain things out there. So it's just like, but at a certain point, you just realize, like, okay, I'm not the only person who's done some dumb shit. Like, we've all done stuff that we're embarrassed about. We've all been in situations where we felt like we shouldn't have done that shit. So it's just like, whatever. Like, we're here. We're all living and learning from it.
What did you say that was wicked embarrassing on the show?
Well, I had it edited out.
Oh, what was it? What was it?
It was some relationship stuff, but I've exposed myself in other ways, like, you know, some weird stuff that I've done.
Did it feel
Some off.
therapeutic when you did it?
It did, because it's like I got it off my chest and it's just there. Like, it's nobody can say anything about it anymore. It's just it's not I'm not holding on to it anymore. It's just out there.
Aubrey, what about you? Was that a tough adjustment for you?
No.
She's just put it all out there.
Yeah, I'm gonna put it out there. I just feel like for me, like putting it out there, it's just kind of like people in this generation are gonna judge you, right, for whatever you go through. But I just feel like some people just don't realize, like, just because I have gone through this, that doesn't mean that your shit don't stink. You feel me? Like, that's what I always say. So you can't judge me on what I went through. And you probably went through something probably similar to what I went through. So just because I was a hoe back in the day doesn't mean that you wasn't in some ways back in the day. It's just part of life and part of growing up. And so you go through all these things just to grow up and be part of life. And like, yeah, just grow. So I don't care. I'll just say it.
Now, what about talking about family? Do you have like a filter when it comes to that?
I definitely do. I don't want to I'll put myself out there, but I'm not going to put other people's stuff out there, especially my family.
Yeah, that's me too. I'll put stuff out about my little sisters because like they're little. They just do like they're kids. They just do weird shit. Like it's like, why are you screaming in the crib? You know what I mean? Like it's little stuff like that. But as far as like family, like they're like nearest dearest to me. So I wouldn't really like toss their stuff out there. Unless it's funny. Unless it's something that's crazy funny, I might do it for a validity check down the line. But if it's crazy funny, then I'll do that. But other than that, nah.
I feel like we try to keep stuff like keep people's confidentiality. Like we don't try to expose people. Like even when we do validity checks, sometimes those are real stories. And we just say like, what if you were in this situation where X, Y, and Z? But those are real scenarios.
For real, those are real. Like people don't realize like those are real. We are reaching out to people like or reaching out to whoever or thinking about these like and what we go through. Like these are real ass stories. And I always start off by saying like, so shorty, and then like that's like my protagonist every time when it comes to a girl. So shorty with homeboy, like that's how I put it all the time. But these are real life stories. We're not playing in games out here. Like people really go through this shit.
And what you guys could do is like, do you remember the second date updates on Jamin?
Yeah.
That would be sweet for this show if you guys could figure out a way to do a spinoff.
Update the validity checks.
Yeah.
I like that.
That's a good idea.
That is a great idea. We always think about that at the end. Like, what should we do? And we started off with like valid in 60 seconds, which I thought was pretty hilarious for me because it's like, I want to know if you go in Canada Dry or Schweppes. And that was something that like stuck with me from the beginning. Like, damn, you must have Schweppes, Shelby? Like, what the what? Like,
you guys will do great. You guys will do great with a live podcast too. Have you thought about doing those?
Soon.
I didn't think about that.
Shelby, you did.
I did?
Yeah, remember we talked about a promo party? What we'll do at the promo party?
Yeah.
Yeah, Shelby brought that up to me though, and I was just like, you know what? Okay, like we can see how we can work
like
this
a show, like a live podcast show. I think that would be dope.
Yeah,
we'll help you pull it together. I would love to help with that. That'd be great.
Well, I'm down for sure. I want to ask you though, like, what do you say to your haters?
We've had some recently. We've had a bunch recently.
Really?
Yeah, it makes me feel legit. I love it. Told you, alpha male status.
If you ain't got haters, you ain't popping.
You feel me?
I try to just channel it. Like I don't usually engage. I just try to channel it into being productive usually. And then I'll just like be with Jack and I'll be like, yo, fuck that dude for life.
Jack, what do you say to the haters, man? I know you behind the scenes and stuff, but I know still.
Luckily, I only hear the hate directly from Connor, so I gotta agree with Connor. I think he deals with it in a good way. Kill him with kindness. And yeah.
But behind these eyes is a real psycho. I'll tell you that much.
So you actually do you actually respond to them?
I like very rarely engage, but I see it all. For sure.
What makes you decide not to engage though?
I know I've been on some really petty shit recently. I'll be honest with you.
Tell us. We want to know the juicy details.
Well, there was a dude that was hating for a long time, and then we had the mayor of Boston up, and I shot him the YouTube link. Just didn't say anything with it. He was just hating on the growth, and I was like, "Yo, bro, you might like this. Might be a good listen for you, bro. Why don't you try this out?"
That's a nice petty comeback. I like that.
Like, I ain't even gonna lie, I already did something like that quick. I sent the link to like one of my ex-girlfriends in high school or something like that. Because she thought when I hit her up, I was trying to be on some like petty stuff, but I was really just trying to like leave the past in the past type situation. And she left me on scene, and I was just like, here's Valid TV, check it out. And I've sent her specifically the side piece versus main piece episode part 1.
Okay, so, all right, you need to relax.
I just thought it was the right time. You feel me? Like, just watch this. You know, I should send her the one.
Pay attention to it.
You shouldn't.
If it's out there, I wouldn't know.
Yeah, but it's a little different if it's right in your face. You haven't dealt with that yet?
No, I haven't.
No.
I'm waiting for it, actually.
How did you know it was the right time, though, to, like, elevate your brand? And when do you ever know it is the right time to elevate your brand? Because I feel like you said, that's something that I struggle with, where it was like, I had all this stuff going on in my life, like working 2 jobs, doing this on the side, and then it's just like I think I had to realize for myself, like, life's not going to make room for anything else. Like, you have to make the time to commit to something else, and if you really want to do this thing, you're really going to put your mind and your heart to it. So when do you know it's the right time to kind of like elevate yourself?
Well, you guys will see too, like, you're a couple months into it. It will start becoming habit for you. That Valid starts becoming like it's just part of your life. It won't even feel like an effort anymore. That's what's just going to happen over time. I think when Jack and I are like, all right, it's time to like take a bigger step, is either we're like really frustrated that we feel like we're not grown enough, or we're bored as hell. If we're like bored with what we're doing, usually we get really sick of it. Like that, there was a streak with the podcast where I was like, yo, I really don't want to do this anymore. This is like really boring. It's not going anywhere. And so then usually we'll find like other stuff to do to work around it. Because a podcast too is like, it's a very slow growth.
Yeah. I've noticed that thus far. Like, definitely like slow. I've seen that slowing up in like our subscribers. But to me, what I always look at as wins is like, we've only been at this for less than 2 months now. Right. And we're at today 93 subscribers at 2 months. And so for us to be at that point, and especially like our Instagram, like the way my mental thinks is like, for everything to traffic through Instagram, like everybody traffics through Instagram because people are on Instagram all the time. So for us to be where we're at, you know, on Instagram is also when I was talking to Shelby, like, yo, did you see the followers going up today? It was going crazy. So I take little wins, you know what I mean? And so I guess for us, it's always just sitting down. And like I said before, I always just think crazy. Like, I would have bought merch the first day I said Valid TV. But Shelby was like, okay, let's hit a milestone and then let's move from there and then see what we could do from there. And now it's just a flow of everything, you know?
Shelby, where's your shirt? You don't have a shirt?
I do have a shirt. It's just not on today. I'm sorry.
You gotta die by the brand. What are you doing?
My bad.
I love the gear. The gear looks great.
Thank you. We actually just got some in, so Shelby will have some more gear in the next day or two because I'll be shipping some stuff out. But we're waiting for one more promotional product to come through with our branding on it that I'm super excited about because I don't think anybody would have expected this. I'm gonna just say it. We got car air fresheners. Actually, like
We were trying to do that. That's fire. Fuck.
yeah.
Jack, you hear that? Fuck. That's sweet. What do they smell like? What's the flavor?
We got dark ice, we got pina colada, guava, and dang, what's the fourth one, Shelby? Oh, black raspberry vanilla.
That sounds disgusting.
No,
Nah,
it
it
smells.
smells
It's
fire.
yo. You don't understand. Shelby and I like. I was like, I want to do car air fresheners, and people were like, "What? Like you want car air freshener?" I'm like, "Yo, who do you know has car air fresheners, bro?" Like you right, nobody. So I got like this box of like air fresheners to smell. I went to Shelby's house and we were just smelling like stuff, just
It was
like
like 50 different scents, bro. I was like,
yo.
You guys were
And I'm
getting
like,
lightheaded.
yeah, honestly, and I'm like, we can't pick. And then Shelby's like, well, I like this one. I like this one. I like this one. I'm like, I like them all too, bro. But we can't pick all of them. So what do we do? So we ended up sticking to 4 flavors, and boy, I'm
I think that's
excited.
the other thing about like building a brand and having a podcast. Like there's mad behind the scenes stuff that we do that literally nobody sees. Like they just see, oh, we dropped an episode today and it's now live. Like that's all they see. They don't see everything else that goes into it.
Yeah, I get used to that. Like it's 90% behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. That's
It's not
for
just
sure.
looking good on camera, girls. There's a lot that goes into it.
Yo, all right. I guess my next question for you is what I really want to know. Like, what do you love the most about being in this process of building a brand? Like, because honestly, it's never gonna stop. You building to the next level is probably never gonna stop. I could see it in you. Like, you're just a go getter. Like, you just always just aim for the highest. So, what do you love most about being in that process?
Yo, I'm gonna be honest. So many days are L's. It's ridiculous. Like literally, you take so many L's. It's gross. Like you girls.
Can you tell us like what are some of the L's that you've taken?
I don't know.
Because I don't feel like we've experienced, not yet at least, but we're still in the beginning.
It's actually a really good question because I feel like I take them so frequently. There's not a big deal anymore. Biggs, do you have any?
What, losses?
Yeah, like what's a most recent L that we took, or just like?
I mean, there's nothing like, it's just people not being able to, join for an episode or whatnot. It's not even like that big of a loss. It's more of just like a disappointment in my ass. It's not as serious as a loss.
I'll tell you a major loss that Jack and I talk about. We threw a launch party before that concert 2 summers ago. At this like fresh ass bar downtown. And so I'm like fresh out of school and I'm like, yo, kids are gonna love this. I don't even have to market this. I got this fresh bar downtown. I'm about to blow like 3 G's on this. This is no problem, man. I'm gonna make all my money back. Literally nobody showed up. There was like 40 people there. And then we had that concert in 3 weeks. And so Jack and I were like, yo, how are we gonna sell at a concert if we couldn't even get 50 people to this fat bar downtown? That was like a really big L to start. We thought that we could just like walk into something and not put any effort in it. It would be fine.
Yeah.
That was more of a lesson than an L.
I like that, Shelby.
It's never like losses or regrets to me. It's always like just a lesson from everything that you go through. Like somebody can't be on your podcast. Cool, I'll get the mayor. You know what I mean? Like that's how you got to think about it. Like you want to be on my podcast? Cool, I got the mayor. You just got to think about it now.
You've always been like that, though. You've always been really level-headed like that.
I try to. Like I said, I always tell Shelby, like, I always go to Shelby for like okay, cool me down. Like, let me know does this sound good? Because right now my mind is going 1,000 miles per hour, like per minute. Like, please calm me down. Like, what should I do? So,
what's the
like
response?
I said, she'd be like, bruh, I don't know. and then she hits me with this paragraph like, I think we should blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, all right, you're right. That sounds like it. Like today we're talking about stuff, and I'm just like, all right, you got me thinking now. Like, okay, you got me actually thinking, because at first I was just shooting shit out there, and then she was like, all right, nah, I think we could do a little bit more. And I'm like, for real? Yeah, we can. I'm like, okay, all right, I'll trust you.
Where do you guys want to take it? What do you guys want to do with it?
You want to go first, Shelby? Because my mind is like.
I personally, I just want to use it as a platform to, I think me and Aubrey are both on the same page with this, but just trying to like put other people on, not only just ourselves, like it's specifically like in Boston, so that, because we're all trying to come up together, we all have our own things that we're working on, and we're stronger together. If we can put each other on, then why not? I think also just kind of giving a platform for different conversations to be had, conversations that people might be scared to have, conversations that people have in the privacy of their home, but it's just like they know they can't, maybe they're scared to talk about it with other people because their views might be different. So just kind of having a safe space for people to voice their opinion, whether it be different than what we think or not.
Yeah.
No, that's a fire ass segue. And sorry to cut you off, Aubrey. But
so
what do you guys think about what's going on right now?
We just
did a whole episode on that.
Yeah. I think I'll answer the first one, what you said. I think for me, it's just like kind of right next to what Shelby is saying, like building a platform to put other people on and to bring together different perspectives and different voices about whatever it is that we're talking about. You know what I mean? Like, just because I go through something doesn't mean that, Connor, you might go through something a little bit different, but it's kind of similar in some ways. And being able to have that conversation, I think, is always important, because I feel like our generation is powerful. Like, we're like money hungry, we're go-getters, we're like entrepreneurs, we're everything mixed in one, you know what I mean? And so I would love to just have our generation be able to just have a platform in general. And I always say this, I think building up for, like, I know Shelby has things in the works, and so I would love to just be able to support Shelby through what she has going on next in store for her. And so to have that platform where, like, if we can get to freaking 1,000 subscribers, like, this is Shelby and all she has to offer, because she has great things coming. And like, I just can't wait to see like what she does, like branching off into what she has in store. So I think big. Like, Connor, I'll talk to you offline. Like, my mind is thinking crazy about where we could go with this, you know? So that's me. To answer your second question, though, what do we think about everything that's going on?
Before we get to the second question, Shelby, what are you plotting there? Because I see this big grin on your face.
Nah, I just have the grin on my face because I fuck with Aubrey the long way. Like, she always supports me in anything that I do, anything that I come to her with. Like, she's behind it 100%. So that's why I'm smiling. But I'm working on a couple things. I'm working on a book. Ooh. And yeah, and it's a book of poems. It's poetry.
Nice.
Yeah, but so that's the main thing that I'm working on now. And just long term, I'm trying to open a spa.
Let's go. Where? In the city?
You know, I'm like contemplating because I'm really trying to move out of Boston. So
come on, Shelby.
I know. I know. But like, honestly, like you said earlier, where you want to do something in your city, in your home, like where you come from, because I feel like it means so much more when you can give back and just do something in your own community. So right now I'm torn where that's going to be, but those are the plans.
Mm-hmm.
I want to Aubrey, can you connect me and Shelby after this? So I think I know some people who are in the spa world that I might be able to link you with.
All right.
And I definitely know how you can talk to some people who have published books before too. I know I can do that for you.
Dope. I'm down.
Man, Jerry. But I'll answer your second question as far as like what we think is going on right now. I mean, it's a lot of mixed emotions for me personally, but I feel like right now, if I was home, I would be a different person than I am right now. And people may see me as being very content with everything that's going on, although it breaks my heart. But I just feel, because I'm with my little sisters, and it just ignites a fire in me to kind of keep going and to bring more of people, bring more Black and brown people together in this world. And so that's kind of why, like with Shelby, I reached out to her like, yo, I think we should pull an episode together ASAP. Like I want to put something together ASAP to let people share their voice and have a platform to share their voice. And that's kind of what we did in like 2 days, Shelby. Like we were just kind of like, we're gonna do this. Yes, who we're gonna get? That was the next question, and we just went from there. And having that conversation, I think, was great for us to kind of just let it out there and get a perspective from people who, we had 2 Black males on our podcast, and it was 2 Black females, and we're having just a genuine conversation as to what's going on and how we feel in this very moment, because realistically, like, it's not gonna stop. And I don't know when this episode is definitely going to drop, but right now we're working on creating some shirts in order to donate 100% of the proceeds to 3 organizations: Reclaiming the Block, Black Lives Matter Boston, and Justice for Breonna Taylor. And so we're just trying to do whatever we can to kind of fight for what's right.
Now, Shelby, what are your thoughts on it?
I've been just like overwhelmed. I've been trying to disconnect from social media as much as I can, because it's all you see. And like I said on the episode, like rightfully so, like it should be all that we see. It should be pushed like that. But yeah, it's just overwhelming. I feel like filming that episode was therapeutic.
Mm-hmm.
Like Aubrey said, it let us get all our feelings out there. And I feel like I needed that.
Can I ask you both a question? Because Aubrey, obviously we've known each other forever, and I've like always just been cool with Black people, just like always. Then, do you guys?
Kevin's like your best friend, man.
I know. I mean, I just never thought it was whatever. Who gives a fuck? And so, do you guys think Mecco helped you? Like, did any of this shit you learned in Mecco help you right now? Like,
bro, I ain't gonna get too deep because we're gonna have a whole episode on it. But no, I don't think Mecco helped me. I think Mecco helped me in some ways, but not in any way that was kind of like, this is how do I put it? Like, I don't think Mecco helped me, prepared me for this shit. Like, they weren't honest about what things were happening. Things that happened in LS when it came to, racial shit, they weren't on it like they would be on it somewhere else. So it was just kind of like sweeping shit under the rug. And so for Mecco, for me, it's just kind of like, do you not understand like the shit that we go through having to come all the way out here? You know what I mean? Like, it's so easy for any of us to just be kicked out the door than anybody else that's in here. And one of the main things that always sticks to me is in middle school at Lincoln. Being on a basketball team, you want to create this like culture or like this connection with other people, especially being like people in Lincoln. Like, I don't want to be going home at 7:00 at night, but if I build a connection with you, I could stay at your crib. You know what I mean? And I had the program director come snatch me off the side of the road because we were walking to Country Pizza, and she's like, you can't go, you can't leave school grounds. I'm like, what? My mom said I could go. What are you talking about? No, you can't go, you need to go back right now. So now you mean to tell me you're gonna pick up my food and I have to eat with so and so by myself without my team, when this is team bonding? Like, so now I'm stopped from bonding with my team. So do I think Mecco help? I appreciate the academics pieces of it for sure. I still don't appreciate LS and their guidance counselors. I had a guidance counselor that was like, "You're not gonna get into Westfield." Bitch, I got into Westfield.
Bro, I had teachers that told me to just give up. Just like, why don't even try. Like, I know for a fact they weren't saying that to students that lived in Sudbury, and like I know for a fact he was not telling that to them.
Bro, Westfield is not even no prestigious school. It's like, bro, do you realize that I need a 2.5 to get in? I have that. And I need like a minimum freaking SAT score. I got that. Matter of fact, over that. You mean tell me I can't get in? Like, what are you talking about? So I always say this all the time. To Miss Reisman, you feel me? Because I got a master's now. That's how I feel about it. But I don't think Mecco helps with none of this. You know what I mean?
So what about feeling comfortable around white people? Did it help with that at all, do you guys think?
Well, I was in Mexico since I was in first grade, so
you're different. You had a different experience.
Yeah, I definitely feel like it did give me sort of just like, I wouldn't say comfortable, but it just exposed me to how other people live, exposed me that there are white people out there. Like, living in the city, you don't see them as much, you're not around them as much, and it's just your family that you're around. But I think I don't know, I wouldn't say comfortable is the right word. I would say it exposed me to something different.
Mm-hmm. Hold that thought. I just gotta plug my phone in. It's about to die.
It made you familiar.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was, Jack.
You gotta separate, Lincoln and Sudbury, because those were two big different stories. That's all I gotta say.
Jackson, we gotta separate.
Yeah, I agree, man. Because what's going on for you though, with everything that's going on, and your relationship with people? Like, how are you feeling all this? Which I know your mindset is probably different because you're like, what the fuck? Like, why is this?
When is this gonna air?
A couple weeks ago.
Okay, so I'll tell you guys exclusively. Like, I don't ever want to jump into the social media pit because I just don't think it's gonna help. Like, it's so oversaturated right now. You go on Instagram and it's everything. It's like, how are you actually gonna take a message away from that? You know what I'm saying? And I think right now, if you go online and do something, someone's gonna have a reaction to it. You know what I'm saying? But I was like, yo, how can I kind of channel our platform into like at least getting a conversation started with people who know what they're talking about? And so we lined one up with Paul Patrick that's going to be on Monday. And so we thought he would probably be pretty good to speak to everything that's going on. More like, he'd sound smarter than I would on all this.
Okay. That's something that I mean, I appreciate, because I'm looking at everything that's going on, and then I think for me as being on social media with the brand right now, the first thing I said to Shelby was what do I even say right now? And I didn't feel like it was right of me to kind of like put what we have going on in there at the time, where this is all this stuff on ways to help and ways to support and all this other stuff. So I put out Bella TV is dropping an episode. But that was just me personally. But then I felt like, okay, if this is something that I stand for as a person, this is something that Shelby stands for as a person, then the best way for us to do this is just to support what's going on in every way, shape, or form, and kind of post ways to get people looking at this, basically the same thing, to know like this is ways that you can help. So yeah, I appreciate you getting Deval Patrick on there, because I was
just about to say, I appreciate the fact that you're using your platform to have like that conversation.
Well, you know what we'll do when we get off the call is I'll ask you guys if you have specific questions for him, and I'll try to work them into the episode.
Bet.
Where?
I don't know. Black chick. I got no idea. I had no idea what it's like being a black dude. I have no clue. Yeah. I got no clue what it's like for you guys right now. I have no idea. I know I and Jack, like, we won the lottery. Like, I'm like, and I realized that probably early on, but it's like, yo, I'm a 6'3", handsome and smart white dude, right? From parents who are hardworking and love me. Like, that, you can't beat that shit. Like, I got the best hand possible, so I can't complain. And I get that there's so many people in this country specifically that just don't have the same starting point as me. So I got really lucky, and I think it's ignorant for anybody to think that we know what it's like. We don't.
Yeah, I respect that for sure. My last question to you would definitely be like, what advice would you give to someone who feels as though like the time isn't right to start building something, or like they're in the fresh start of building something? What would be your big? Yeah, being soft. Yo, Connor told me this every time that I seen him. The last time I seen him, legit, Shelby, I walked into him and Kevin in Starbucks out of nowhere. This is actually the day that I was coming with when I actually had the flu, Connor, when I was like, I don't feel good. That was the last time I seen him, and he was like, "What the hell are you doing, man? Like, you're soft, bro. You're soft. Like, what the fuck?"
Well, you've been saying like, no, I might get to start. I swear to God. And you're like, but I got to go on this gambling trip on this Carnival cruise to the Caribbean. I was like, what the fuck?
I was always gone. I was always gone.
I'm pumped you guys got this started though. This is great. The hard part's over too.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Now you just keep going. Be consistent with it.
Hey, what does your bicep tat say?
It says the struggle is a part of the story.
How long you had that for?
I got it while I was in school, so probably like I want to say like 3 years.
You guys should get matching valid tats.
Now, if this starts paying for my whole lifestyle, yeah, I might.
I might consider it.
I might consider it if it starts paying for everything. You know, I ain't gotta work. Honestly though, I really hope that it does take off to the point where this is what we do. So if it could be that, despite me having my degrees and stuff, I really feel like this is where I could be like genuine and genuinely me. I don't have to think about a textbook or paperwork. Like I could
Going
just
into work at 9 a.m., leaving at 5. Like I hate
yeah,
this shit. I hate
like I could be my boss.
Dead bodies all day. I hate it too.
I could just be my own boss. You know what I mean? Like, and Shelby and I could just work together and just like we don't have to do. Like Shelby always says this. Like I want to be a boss. Like, nigga, fine, let's do that.
I don't want to work for nobody.
I'm with you guys. Yeah. Keep going. Let's go.
Sure.
Yes, you keep going too.
I'm not gonna stop. Come on. But listen, and I'm gonna tell you competitively, I know of every podcast in Boston. I threw a podcast event Jack and I threw one last summer. We had like the 10 biggest podcasts in the city. We threw a live podcast event called the Masscast. There are no female duo podcasts in the city that I know that are prevalent. So you guys have like a niche just like that. You don't have to beat anybody out. So it's totally up to you to make it happen. Yeah. At least in the city.
I feel like we're a little bit
consistency.
Yeah, consistency and just trying to be different in many ways and bringing like I love the fact that you have like a family aspect to yours, like GDP family. Like we're a family at the end of the day, the people that support you, and I love that aspect, and that's something that the both of us value as our family. You know what I mean? And our friends are like our family. We don't just go be friends with everybody. So I think tailoring that to what we do is gonna be like giving us the torch to everything else that comes ahead of us. You know what I mean?
I'm here for it. Jack and I definitely want to help. So whatever you guys need, just let us know.
Thank you. We appreciate it for sure. But Zoom is going to kick us out shortly, so we're going to go ahead and wrap this one up. I truly appreciate you, Connor, for jumping on today. You too, Jack. It means a lot to me and Valid TV in general for you guys to jump on here, especially having the platform that you do right now and taking the time to actually sit down and talk to us is very I'm humble for that. I appreciate it always. You guys got any last minute things?
I got nothing. I think this show is going to be great if you guys literally just keep it moving. Seriously, just keep going and like it will grow over time. I promise. And I want to get a group chat between us three so you guys can help us out with the Duvall episode. And 2, Shelby, I want to get your address so I can ship you some new gear.
Bet.
Thank you.
Is that? Thank you.
Here we go. Once again, thank you to the GDP family for coming through, Connor and Jack, and showing us some love. We appreciate them. Everybody tune into their podcast. I'm pretty sure you've seen them all over the city by now. Like I said, on the back of buses, Harvard Square. What you got? Davis Square as well. I think I seen.
Got one at Alewife.
You guys posted Alewife.
Square, got one on a bus.
Like always, this is Valid TV, vulnerability, accountability, leadership, intentionality, and demand. All aspects of life, and we always just here to talk about it. You dig?
OG on the bass, nigga.